Folks, we're gonna create a critique paragraph, and we're gonna create it using Perrault, the Rise of Perrault's Cinderella, mainly because not many people are writing about that, so I'm not gonna step on anyone's toes. But we're gonna pull a quote from it and analyze it, like create an ace paragraph using a quote from this article. So we're gonna start with a clean, clear Microsoft Word document. So I'm going to assume I've already written the introduction and summary paragraphs, right? Just that's done. Assume that's done. And so now we're going to write a critique paragraph. It's going to be ACE style. What is the A? What does the A stand for? C? E? All right. And I'm also going to have some kind of transition. So a taste paragraph. That's new. We're going to write a taste paragraph. I personally recommend you start with the site, like with the quotation, because it's like easy to find a quotation, right? Well, not easy, but it gives you something specific to start with. The move, I decided this last night, the move we're going to look at is the way Bonnie Cullen contrasts Perrault's Cinderella with other versions of Cinderella. And I'm going to get your help on this. Like, I'm going to look too, but I'm going to get your help as well. Go to the article. And look for a quality quotation where she compares Perrault's Cinderella to like another Cinderella. Yeah, that's what we're going to work with. Look for a quotation. I'm going to look as well. Let me know once you have one. All right, tell the person next to you, like show the person next to you the quote you've found. Let me ask this. Who's found a quote? Oh, not yet. All right, I'm going to give you another 20 seconds. Who needs more time? Okay, share the quote with each other. Go. Talk to each other. What do you got? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What paragraph? What paragraph is that? Okay, it's paragraph 8. I like that. I'm gonna have to use it later. Give me a quote. What you got? Paragraph 9 says what? Hmm? Got it. I like that. I like that. All right, who's got a good quotation? I heard two good ones. Anyone else? What do you got? All right. Well, I heard some good ones. Tell us yours, and then yours. Go ahead. You just skip the name. Yeah, it's quite a name. Mm-hmm. And then add on. Try not to call names. Yep. So paragraph 8. We got Dolnois Cinderella, who is altruistic and spirited. Paragraph 9. We have Perrault Cinderella is generous, long-suffering, charming, and good-humored, but she's quite a different lady, right? Okay. So the move that we're going to look at is the contrast between Perrault Cinderella and Dolnois Cinderella, right? So if I've typed it, you type it. And I'm going to need a quotation. These two guys pointed to some useful ones, one in paragraph 8, one in paragraph 9. I know I'm going to need a shorter version of the quotation. I'm not there yet. Like, I honestly haven't written this paragraph yet. I didn't know what quotations we're going to use. So I'm at the early stages of this. At the early stages, I use more words than less. So I'm going to go over here and Canvas does a pretty slick thing, and it lets you copy, and then I'm going to paste the quotation, but you got to paste special. Hold on. Boom, paste special. Watch this. Unformatted text. Bang. Look at that. It's pretty slick. All right, then I'm going to go to paragraph 8 and copy. Got to do that paste special. Boom, right there. So I have two quotations. A few typos, but it'll work. If you're not able to copy and paste from the book, you don't have to worry about putting this long quotation in. These long quotations, don't worry about that just yet. Anyways, anybody have questions or need extra time for something? No? Okay, now we need to figure out a few things. Like what's the most important part of the quotation, and then what should be my assert. Let's go to the quotation. So we have the Dolnois quotation and then the Perrault quotation. What do you think are the most important words from these quotations? Pick the Dolnois quotation. What do you think? Yeah. And that means that Dolnois entitled her story fairy tales. What else? Because we're comparing the characteristics of one Cinderella versus the other. Yes, sir.
Just the characteristics in general. For example, altruistic and spirited.
Okay. And then for Perrault's Cinderella, I personally think That's important. And sticking with what you said about her characteristics. That's important. And I think that's incredibly important. Whoops. So important, I deleted it. Her being the ideal bride. So I highlighted about, I don't know, 15 words, probably too many for a quotation in my paragraph, but at least I've cut out half of the words. So I know what I'm not going to quote. Okay. Now I need to go to an assert and then an explain. And you can attack this either way. You could go to the assert if you know exactly what you want to say, or if you don't know what to say, you could just start explaining. And it doesn't even have to be good explanation. It could just be explaining, right? Who knows, who feels like you have an assert, like an assertion sentence, a quality topic sentence that can explain the contrast between the two? I'll be honest, I don't either yet. So let's do this. You do it, I do it. Look at the words that are bolded and then write about what that shows between the two Cinderellas. Like, we know the assertion is going to have to do with contrast, but we don't know what we're going to say yet. But we do have the quotation. So look at the words that are bolded, and in the explain, your explain doesn't have to be very good yet. You're drafting. Just write down the differences between the two Cinderellas. You write, I write. We'll come back together in about 2 minutes. Go. take another 20 seconds to finish whatever idea you've written. All right, good folks. Show the person next to you. Like literally, do this. Watch this. Just show the person with your laptop. Just boom. Let me see what you got. All right, so she knows what she wants. Say more about her being spirited. Like maybe all she wants is just, I don't know, just like a big bag of candy, which is irrelevant to this topic. So explain more about what you mean. What do you got? Let me see it.
Nothing much at all. I just did I need to do more reading if I'm gonna like go into more detail with that. And I didn't remember what that word was, and I was just looking it up. And then
Altruistic means something similar to generous. You look out for other people's needs more so than your own. Open-handed. All right, good folks. I've given you some time to write and to think, so I need to hear some ideas. And I don't want to call your names because this is probably going to YouTube, but I'm still going to point at you. I want you to talk. Yes. Well, okay. You can read the whole paragraph if you want. Well, so what differences do we see with these quotations? Go ahead.
Is the author Cullen that wrote the ride?
Yes.
I didn't know. I just looked up. So Cullen contrasts Perrault and Delaunay's, I'm probably not the right, Cinderella to show why Perrault's lasted as the most popular for a long period of time. By comparing them, the reader sees the differences between the types of Cinderella stories, allowing them to recognize the fairy tale society prefers. Perrault's Cinderella is the ideal bride and is generous. On the other hand, Delaunay's is altruistic and spirited, which is shown through her adventures, including killing children. During the time period, Delaunay's Cinderella is unheard of in this time period for a girl to act like. Therefore, why Perrault's Cinderella was more accepted because her character is still submissive to men and does not push the boundaries of women in society.
That's pretty thorough. That's good. That's good. You don't have to read the whole paragraph. Just a difference you noticed.
Okay. So I said that one princess is almost fragile.
Mm-hmm. Fragile is a good word.
And kind of like dependent, and she needs someone to be there for her. She needs that Prince Charming.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is brave and independent and doesn't need a man so they can handle themselves.
Mm-hmm.
On their own. Be supportive.
Okay, those are good comparisons. That's good. Who wrote what you would consider a lot? Who wrote more than 3 sentences? Okay, I recommend you do that. Because I heard it in Kayla's. I think I see it in mine. It's almost like the whole paragraph is right there. Like what you wrote, those sentences you can move around, and you'd have a paragraph. Like the paragraph would be done. This comes up when people write long essays and they don't know what to say in their conclusion. Like they get to the end of the essay, your paper's due in like an hour and a half, and you don't know what to put in the conclusion. Often you've already written the conclusion. It's just somewhere else in the paper. So what you need to do is look back. Oh, these 2 sentences, yeah, they go in the conclusion, and then I add on from here. Same thing with what you wrote. You got an assert. You definitely have an explain. You just got to rearrange it, right? So I found myself starting with this sentence because I needed to explain overall what's going on. And as I wrote it, I thought, yep, that's probably going to be my assert. I'll work with that. I can improve it later, but I can work with it for now. And then I realized I needed to explain one and then the other. So this is the Daunois section. Whoops. This is the Perrault section, right? And what I realize now is, like, to conclude, I'm probably going to need a sentence or two to directly contrast both Cinderellas, but I'll get there. I'll get there. As I wrote, I also realized this is all I need to say for the quotations. Like, that's how you mix, that's how you intertwine quotations into your own writing. And we did it, we were only able to do that because we identified A, quotations, B, we identified the important words from the quotations, and C, once I went to write the paragraph, like, oh, well, these are the important words. If I were writing my rough draft, I would be content. I'd almost be content with this paragraph. And I'd just stick it in there and go on to the next paragraph. Now, when I write the final draft, I'll need to make some changes. But this is good enough for the rough draft, and I'm ready to, I can go on to the next paragraph. Yes, sir.
So you don't need to like put like a law or like after the quote.
Oh, I need to do that. It's a rough draft, and I didn't know that. I guess I could have looked up the page numbers. They are right here. You know what? Let me do that. It's so easy to do. So the Daunois section is 319. What name do I write here, Logan? What name do I write for the citation? Yeah. You're saying Daunois? Who wrote the article? And the page number is 319. Done. Where does the period go? Does it go here? Or does it go here? Yes. And then quite a different lady. That appears on page 320. So what name do I write here? What name do I write? Just heard it. It's the author, the name of the author, not Daunois. Exactly. 320. And then I do the same here. Now for this sentence, I have two quotations. Do I put my citation here after the first quotation? No. Do not put citations in the middle of sentences. Don't put citations in the middle of sentences. Don't put citations in the middle of sentences. Instead, always put them at the end of sentences. I saw a hand. Yes.
So if Colin were like were to quote Daunois in something like something from that Cinderella, then would you put Colin or
For the citation,
yeah?
always put Cullen. You wouldn't put Daunois ever because you're still quoting. You got the information from Cullen's article. You didn't go to Daunois' original text. All right. Any questions so far? All right. I am going to move away from this assert, cite, explain. It helped me, but I'm going to start over, knowing that I need an assert, a cite, and explain. And I'm going to start highlighting. That explain could be better. This explain is sufficient. Anyways, that's where I am thus far. And if this is as far as you get in the rough draft phase, it's good enough. But as I look at it, I just noticed there are places where I could improve this paragraph tremendously. So, for instance, the assert, the beginning is clear and makes sense. Cullen contrasts the two. Now here, to show how different their temperament is, it's vague. Like, okay, they have different personalities. So what? Right? So my my assert needs to explain the so what. As I'm talking to you, I'm trying to figure out how to make it explain the so what. And I'm coming up a little short, but we're gonna work with something. So here I already know I'm gonna change this word show. It's not academic enough. To what? Demonstrate the, now how different, vague. What I'm trying to communicate is that one Cinderella represents like a feminist perspective and the other one represents this passive submissive like view, right? So Cullen contrasts the two Cinderella figures to demonstrate the between a I'm going to take out the word figure versions of figure and a, so Denoise is feminist. Give me a word for Perrault's. A feminist figure and a, give me one. Everyone think. Feminist figure and a blank one. How would we describe Perrault's? I like that. Feminist figure and a damsel in distress. I'm just going to delete the one. That'll work. Okay. Now I have my evidence. And so I noticed in the evidence that I haven't mentioned Dolnois' name. Like, I'm assuming that I've mentioned her name in the summary above, but I haven't mentioned her name yet here. So I'm going to mention her name here. The feminist Cinderella appears in Countess Dolnois' version of the story, and her princess is altruistic and spirited. She's assertive. And I do some more summarizing here. So as I summarize, I realize I need to unpack what this means. Like, okay, she's assertive. So what? This princess does not need a man's help to save her from distress because she can protect herself. She is both independent and I need another word. Independent and what? What? I'll work with that. I like that. And then I have the rest of the paragraph. According to Cullen, though Perrault Cinderella is quite a different lady. It's aggressive. Perrault is passive, long-suffering when she encounters adversity. This should have been blue. So I probably need to add that, a sentence or two, to balance out the length of this explain here. But either way we slice it, we've started out with a quality paragraph. Like, we can work with this paragraph, right? If you follow this process, it's going to help you. Writing, like, good writers, in my opinion, don't start at the beginning and then go to the end. Often folks will start in the middle of analysis paragraphs. So you start in the middle with write the summary paragraph, write one of the analysis paragraphs. When you write the analysis paragraph, it helps to put the quotations in front of you so you can like know what to say. I've done a lot of talking. I'm going to stop. Does anyone have questions thus far? All right. For the next 10 minutes, I just want you to practice what we did. And so you know, the timed essay that you're going to write Tuesday, that essay I decided that you're going to end up writing the summary paragraph and one analysis paragraph, and that will be enough. Summary paragraph and one analysis paragraph. So you can practice by either writing a summary paragraph or an analysis paragraph, but you want to practice now. Any questions? All right.